And so I want to piggyback off that and just lead us right into what you think about creating enduring success. And you are, by all counts, an incredibly successful executive and incredible across your entire life. But what does enduring success mean to you?
I think in order to be successful, I think the big thing that I had to learn along the way was that you cannot let your emotions rule your thought processes constantly. Now, as human beings, that's pretty tough, right? I mean, emotion is what makes us human. And what I realized in my younger days was that a very smart boss, one of the best bosses that I've had along the way, said to me one time, Meredith, if you can't manage your own emotions as a leader, then you cannot expect other people to manage theirs. And it was that was like a major light bulb moment that day. And I realized when I stepped back and thought about it, how much I was letting myself really ride the highs and lows across the board. And I was getting so swept up in all of that. Once I made kind of a conscious decision to feel the emotion, but not let the emotion guide my decisions, that's what really put me on a different path to success. And I think trying to lead from a place of empathy and caring and apply that across my life, acknowledge the emotion, but understand that the way you make people feel is probably going to be bigger than anything else that you do in your life. And so I look at, first and foremost, am I happy with who I am as a person? Are my intentions basically, for the most part, good? And what do my relationships look like in my personal life, in my professional life, in my friend groups, all of that? And when all of that feels good and feels right, it's not about the paycheck. It's not about the title. It's about when all of those areas really feel good and you feel like you're in a good place there. That's where I kind of feel like, okay, this is sort of a pinnacle of success. Hopefully there'll be many more of those pinnacles. But right now, in the here and now, I'm feeling pretty good about those things.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. The pinnacle of success. And as you're speaking, I literally have in my head visuals of those different aspects of your life and everything working in concert together. And my guess is that that in of itself is a journey of continuously recalibrating and keeping it in concert.
Well, people are unpredictable, right? I mean, like that is one of the other things that we have to acknowledge, and not everybody is going to respond or react to things the way you would. And I also think too, a big part of being, kind of defining success in your own head and then achieving it is you really have to be able to let things go. Mm-hmm. And I was not very good at that as a younger person. I think it wasn't that I wanted to internalize every bad thing that ever happened to me and every single thing that somebody said, that in the back of my head, I'm like, what did they mean by that? Do they not like me? Or am I too much? So you start, when you start getting in your head like that and you start constantly questioning yourself and you start, you have to be willing to, I think, to just forgive people for those offhand comments that they make, that they weren't intentionally trying to be rude. They weren't intentionally trying to be hurtful. So that's another thing that's super important, is intention. And if you understand that people's intentions are, for the most part, good, and that misunderstandings and things are going to happen, but at the end of the day, you got to let all that go. If you're constantly living in the past and you're constantly reflecting on every bad thing, every slight, every comment, everything that didn't go your way, there is no room for the future in your head. Just no room for that.
Beautifully put. Thank you for joining me for our Choose and Become interview series. You could find this episode and others at trishkendall.com. Just go to trishkendall.com/choose-become-interview-series. Or if you have a question or just want to leave a comment, email me. trish@trishkendall.com.